Winston Leonard Spencer Churchill was born on November 30th, 1874, in Blenheim Palace, Oxfordshire, England. He was born into the aristocratic family of the Dukes of Marlborough. Churchill was the son of Lord Randolph Churchill, a prominent Conservative politician, and Jenny Jerome, an American socialite. He attended the Royal Military Academy, Sandhurst, and was commissioned as a cavalry officer in the 4th Queen's Own Hussars. Churchill was a prolific writer and won the Nobel Prize in Literature in 1953 for his historical and biographical works. He served as Prime Minister of the United Kingdom twice, from 1940 to 1945, and again from 1951 to 1955. Churchill was known for his powerful oratory skills and memorable speeches, such as his "We shall fight on the beaches" speech. He coined the term Iron Curtain to describe the division between Western Europe and the Eastern Bloc during the Cold War. Churchill served in various government positions, including First Lord of the Admiralty, Chancellor of the Exchequer, and Home Secretary. He was an officer in the British Army during both the Boer War and World War I. Churchill was an accomplished painter and completed over 500 works of art in his lifetime. He was an avid cigar smoker and was rarely seen without one. Churchill was an early advocate for the development of the tank as a military weapon during World War I. He was known for his wit and humor, often engaging in verbal sparring with political opponents. Churchill was a member of the Conservative Party for most of his political career, but also briefly belonged to the Liberal Party. He was elected as the Member of Parliament for Oldham in 1900 and served continuously until 1964. Churchill was deeply interested in military strategy and wrote extensively on the subject. He was an advocate for British imperialism and served as Secretary of State for the colonies. Churchill was instrumental in the formation of the Royal Air Force, RAF, as a separate branch of the British military. He was a proponent of the Special Operations Executive, SOE, which conducted espionage and sabotage operations during World War II. Churchill was known for his love of alcohol, particularly whiskey and brandy. He was an honorary citizen of the United States, a rare distinction granted by Congress. Churchill was a strong supporter of the British monarchy and maintained a close relationship with King George VI. He was deeply opposed to Nazi Germany and warned of the dangers posed by Adolf Hitler in the 1930s. Churchill was Prime Minister during the Battle of Britain, the first major military campaign fought entirely by air forces. He was a staunch defender of democracy and individual liberty. Churchill was an advocate for women's rights and supported legislation granting women the right to vote. He was a skilled horseback rider and enjoyed participating in polo matches. Churchill was known for his eccentricities, including his habit of working in bed and wearing a silk siren suit. He was passionate about history and wrote a multi-volume history of the English-speaking peoples. Churchill was awarded the Order of the Garter, the highest order of knighthood in the United Kingdom. He was a member of the Privy Council and served as its president from 1959 to 1964. Churchill was an early advocate for the welfare state and supported social reforms to improve the lives of ordinary citizens. He was a supporter of free trade and opposed protectionist economic policies. Churchill was a talented orator and often used humor to diffuse tense situations. He was a strong believer in the importance of the British Empire and its role in shaping world events. He was a keen amateur bricklayer and built several walls at his country home, Chartwell. Churchill was a skilled negotiator and played a key role in the Allied conferences during World War II. He was a prolific letter writer and corresponded with numerous world leaders and intellectuals. Churchill was an advocate for the arts and supported cultural institutions such as the National Gallery and the British Museum. He was a keen observer of international affairs and wrote extensively on geopolitics. Churchill was a passionate advocate for the preservation of historic buildings and landmarks. He was an early supporter of the League of Nations, the precursor to the United Nations. Churchill was awarded the Congressional Gold Medal by the United States Congress in 1969. He was a member of the influential dining club, the Other Club, which included leading politicians and intellectuals. He was deeply interested in science and technology and supported scientific research and innovation. He passed away on January 24, 1965 in London at the age of 90+.